We do the JP poll every Tuesday night. These are not rankings. These are power ratings. And I am as beside myself with one aspect of the JP poll this week as I could possibly be. For those of you who are new, these are not my rankings. I do those on Thursday. I've got the computer model over here, and it is built to spit out teams in order of how the model would favor them on a neutral field. Now, before you crap all over the model, this thing has won us money 7 out of the last 8 years we have used it to bet. The Ramen Noodle Express is largely powered by the model, but the JP poll is as well. Now, the model largely has our best interest in mind, but it doesn't actually have a mind because it's a computer. So there's some times where we see things that the model can't see. And trust me when I tell you, friends, that's about to happen tonight. Okay, with that in mind, let me show you 20 through 16. And I'm just going to say this out loud. If you're watching on YouTube, you're already laughing. I'm just going to say this out loud for the podcast crowd, then I'm going to come back to it. Vandy is number 20. Okay. Penn State is number 19. Just hold your laughter for a second. Clemson is 18. Southern Cal's up 5 spots to number 17, and LSU is 16. I am so irate that the JP poll and the model has Penn State top 20 that I had Prez, who works graphics for us, manually override the power rating. But I didn't tell him remove Penn State, because that would be unethical. I had him draw an asterisk next to the Penn State logo and put the reasoning behind Penn State being power rated top 20 beneath it. And the reason is drugs. Drugs. That's the only reason Penn State could be power rated there. Or put another way, the model is high on talent. And it is taking Penn State's talent roster and saying, wait, you programmed me to value this. And yeah, I programmed you to value that. Do you also not understand it's a dead team? And I'm not talking to you guys right now. This is just between me and the model. I'll be with you in a second. Do you not get how that works? Put it down. Put the pipe down and actually take a look. Use your common sense. You don't have common sense because you're a computer. Okay, so yes, technically Penn State's 19. Also, yes, there would be way more than 19 teams favored over Penn State this week. But if you think that the model's alone on this, I need to remind you, Penn State's playing Iowa this weekend. Do you know Penn State opened and was briefly favored against Iowa before it immediately got bet across 0 and now Iowa's favored? Why is that? Well, it's because the odds makers use the same kind of intel that we do to feed into their systems and their models. All of you, drugs. Let's go 15 through 11. Tennessee's number 15. They play at Alabama this weekend. Utah, we are still high on. The model has not sold its Utah stock even after that blowout loss to Texas Tech. Missouri and Oklahoma are 13 and 12. Now, Texas Tech's 11. And I got to tell you, again, I know you guys may not believe this, or you may have to see it to believe it. I've only got a 2.25 point gap, a 2.25 point gap between Utah and Texas Tech neutral field. I'm like you, okay? If FanDuel, if that game were played today in neutral field, like Arlington, for example, and they gave me Texas Tech minus 2.5 against Utah, yeah, I'd lay tons of money on it. It'd be a best bet for me. But I'm not here to tell you which way I'd bet. I'm here to tell you what the model says about these teams, and then you can dissect it appropriately. Hey, wait just a second. I appreciate you guys watching. Most of you are subscribed. If you're not, please do so. It's free. It helps us keep the show free, and that's how we do college football year-round. All right, back to the video. Number 10 is Ole Miss. They're down 3 spots after beating Washington State, very unimpressively. They go to Georgia Saturday. Texas A&M's number 9. Texas is number 8. Now, you'll notice Texas didn't move up any for us after beating Oklahoma. Why is that? Because we already had Texas top 10. We got trashed for that last week, if you'll recall. This is so stupid. The model is drunk on Texas. That's an evergreen statement. But in this particular moment, the model was right about Texas. And we believe Texas should have been a point spread favorite over Oklahoma, even with John Mateer playing. We were adamant about that last week. We got crapped on for it. The folks who made the comments are silent now. You see, because we had Texas where they should have been. We had Oklahoma where they should have been. That's why neither of those teams really moved all that much. We got the result that we thought we would get. We were keeping the teams exactly where the model had them. We got Oregon at 7. They are down 5 spots. We do not believe the Penn State subsequent results after the Oregon game should devalue the Oregon win at Penn State. Meaning, Oregon went to Penn State and they killed Penn State. As a team, they killed them. And then Penn State played like a dead team the next 2 weeks. Franklin got fired because of it. I don't believe, nor do you believe, Penn State would have gotten beaten by UCLA and Northwestern had they beaten Oregon. So that sucked the life out of Penn State. I am not retroactively devaluing or taking credit away from Oregon beating Penn State because of that, because they're the cause of it. So Notre Dame's number 6. Again, if you've doubted the model continuing to have Notre Dame this high, I only ask you to look at this game this weekend. All this is based on, by the way, this thing's just who would be favored against who on a neutral field by how many. Okay, well, Notre Dame plays Southern Cal this Saturday, not on a neutral field. They play them in South Bend. So let's add 3 points for home field. Notre Dame's a 9.5-point favorite in that game. So even if I subtract the home field value, they're a 6 to a 6.5-point favorite over USC. USC's not a bad team. We got USC at 17. I'm not making the case here to defend Notre Dame covering or anything. I'm just telling you, if you think because of 2 losses, Vegas is going to have Notre Dame plummet in their odds making, you're crazy. Notre Dame's way up there right now. There are not many teams that would be favored against Notre Dame. So they're number 6. Here's 5 through 1. Georgia's 5. Alabama's number 4. We didn't need to move them. We already had them up here. So like Bama keeps winning these games, but we never dropped them. We never dropped them beneath Florida State, for example, after week 1. Remember, that was a while back. Remember week 2? We still had Bama way ahead of Florida State. And everyone was like, how's that possible? This thing's clickbait, Pate. Florida State, crickets. Bama top 5. Again, sometimes the model knows what it's doing. Indiana is the number 3 team in the JP poll. I can't believe what's happening. They are plus 11 points in their power rating from where they opened the season. They are plus 8 spots from where they were last week. So the model looked at that result, and it basically said game on. Like all the cobwebs that were over the model's eyes about Indiana have been wiped away. It is perfectly understandable how Indiana would be favored or be ranked top 3 in a poll, in a merit-based poll. I don't really think people properly understand how crazy it is that in a power rating model, power rating format, like neutral field favorability format, that the University of Indiana, or Indiana University, is above Alabama and Georgia and Notre Dame and Oregon and Texas at any point in the season. I don't think people understand how crazy that is. I don't even think I fully understand it. We got Miami 2, we got Ohio State 1. Some quick notes here. Ohio State is a runaway number 1 right now. We have a 4-point gap between Ohio State and number 2 Miami. To give you an idea of how wide a margin that is, there's 4 points between Ohio State and Miami. There are 4 points between Miami at number 2 and the number 11 team. So there's as wide a gap between number 1 and 2 as there is between 2 and 11. So good for Ryan Day. Again, I don't really think Ryan Day's in it for the trophies. He doesn't care so much about the Big Ten championship game, Michigan rivalry, national titles and playoffs. Ryan Day chases being number 1 in the JP poll. And for another week, he's there. It's a streak. It's a trend now. I don't know what we should send him. I don't know if that's chalice worthy.